Okay, let's go.
Very funny story.
Chaim. There's another Maamar, which there's a whole book on, the Maamar of the Alter Rebbe, Pasach Al Yom Teira Er. There's a whole sefer on that Maamar from Rebbe Rashab. It's called Hagoyis, the Master Pasach Al Yom. And in that Maamar, there's a similar question that was raised as the one that was raised yesterday. Yesterday, we were learning that there are two different parts of the neshama that are revealed in various times. There's a part of the neshama which is revealed when you're under pressure, when the anti-Semites of the world are challenging you and telling you either you embrace the cross or you'll be killed. And then there's another part of the neshama which is revealed specifically when everything is comfortable. The gashmis, ruchnius, physically and spiritually, everything is comfortable. And you are bothered by the fact you cannot see Hashem. You're bothered because Hashem is not revealed to you. So what we learned was that although in general Chassidus says that Mesiras Nefesh, the idea of giving your life rather than severing your bond with Hashem, that expression of the neshama is the deepest. So Chassidus says in general, but in this Maamar, the Rebbe says that it's not really the deepest, because if it's only being revealed when there's pressure, and it's not revealed on a regular Thursday morning, that means that it's something which is aloof and it's transcendent and it's distant from the rest of the person. And the reason why it's aloof and transcendent is because it's relegated to being abstract. It's relegated to being something that's otherworldly and not something which is imminent. It's something which cannot be part of your day to day. It's a part of the neshama which has to be, in the language of Chassidus, the pshitus, has to be the sense of simplicity, cannot go into form. Its formlessness is its limitation. It has to be formless, it cannot be in a form. That's limitation that this part of the neshama has. It has to be formless. It has to be beyond the soul powers. On the other hand, when a Jew is able to have a real feeling, I want to see Mashiach, I want to see Hashem, I want Hashem to be revealed in the world, despite the fact that everything's going wonderful, what that means is that there's nothing that the essence of your neshama and your persona have united. And now you see things, you feel things from the perspective of the essence of your neshama. Therefore, you as a person are bothered, how come Mashiach hasn't come yet? So the reason why that it's possible for this to happen, for the essence of the neshama to permeate your persona, is because the essence of the neshama is one with Hashem. And Hashem has Hashem has no form at all. Not just Hashem has no form in the sense that he's beyond any form, but he's also not limited in being formless either. Hashem isn't limited in being in a form. Hashem is limited in being formless. And therefore, because the essence of the neshama is rooted in the essence of Hashem, therefore the essence of the neshama, the real essence of the neshama, is able to permeate the whole persona. So the question that was raised yesterday was, you're calling them both essence. This is the essence, that's the essence, this is the essence. So what the Alter addresses is a similar question in Teira Er, and the question, and he answers in a similar way. The Alter says that in Tanya it says, yes, it's interesting how the Alter like asks this question himself in the Tanya. Tanya is like this author you cannot challenge. In Tanya it says that the essence of the soul is the intellect, the 3 intellectual soul powers and the 7 emotional soul powers. And the question is, how come he calls those the essence when in Teira Er he goes deeper than the intellect and feelings? He talks about a higher level than the Neshama. And so the Alter Rebbe says it depends on what you're talking about when you say the word essence. In comparison to the thought, speech, and action, in comparison to the garments of the soul, the thought, the power of speaking, and the power of doing, that's literally the most, that's the most external part of the neshama. So compared to that part of the neshama, So then you can call the intellect and emotions. You can call them. You can call the intellect and emotions. You can call them the essence. But if you're talking about the deeper part of the neshama, the intellect and emotions are also external. What he means is he wants to sit in the front row seat, maybe. Anyways, so the word essence means, and I'm not sure what the lahavdil, the Greek philosophical terminology of it is, but for our purposes, essence means that which is the depth of what is external. So therefore, you can call the essence of the neshama the power of Mesiras Nefesh, power of sacrifice, because vis-a-vis the external soul powers, it's deeper, it's the essence. But if you're talking about the very core of the neshama, you have to be talking about something which isn't relegated to being abstract, isn't relegated to only expressing itself when things are tough. Stam, in this idea, there is a real, Rebbe really addresses another, Stam, more of a contemporary question that people talk about, the value, Rahman al-Islam, of anti-Semitism and the value of gefilte fish. You know what I'm talking about? People say that Jews are united. The reason why we need the anti-Semitism helps us because anti-Semitism is what unites us. Because anti-Semitism, we are forced to recognize ourselves as Jews, and that's why they invented kosher food too. So we should all eat the same food. Chas Hashem, it's not true. It's kosher food is a terror because it's not Hashem. But I'm saying, but there is a perspective of Judaism, an erroneous one, that Judaism can only exist where there's anti-Semitism and where everyone is firm enough to eat only gefilte fish, or at least as Nathan has a email address, gefilte fish 26, whatever. So at AOL.com, AOL in the old age, old perspective. So anyways, what the Rebbe is saying in this discourse is also addressing what a Jew is. At the very core of a Jew is not someone who gets upset when there is a Stalin and a Hitler. Rather, a Jew is someone who is one with the essence of Hashem, and therefore his whole persona is one with the essence of Hashem. It's not only the anti-Semites of the world that force you to come face to face with who you are. There is something intrinsically in you that's one with Hashem, that adrabah, that is very at home with your persona. Also, just as another erroneous perspective that people have about Yiddishkeit, that you become about Shuva, so then you get a little bit more arrogant with your parents because you want to do things differently than them, and and then you calm down a little bit and you're not so arrogant, and you try to like calibrate a little bit, and you come home for Pesach and you just trafe up your mother's kitchen, and you never really are able to like be yourself again. So I saw a letter there yesterday. This person played checkers professionally, and he asked her if he should stop playing checkers. Says later. No. So the Rebbe says, and also asked the Rebbe if he should stop drawing, stop being an artist. And a very short, simple letter. The Rebbe says that God gave you these talents, you should use them. Yes, you should speak to a rabbi. I think I probably mentioned this yesterday. No, I probably mentioned it yesterday. I don't remember. I think. I can't trust every reader. He's always, it's the first time ever hearing it. Anyways, but the Rebbe says that no, that's a talent. Okay.
The way you're going to present it, you should.
So there has to be a reason why Hashem gave you this talent. You should speak to a Rav. You shouldn't desecrate the Shabbos. But Hashem gave you this talent. You should have to continue playing checkers. Why does Hashem give the talent? Why does Hashem give the ability to for art? So this idea, this holistic perspective of the world, is a Jewish one. That's the real Jewish perspective, that the Eibush should give us our entire persona and give us the essence of our neshama and our intellect and feelings, and all meant to be, they're all meant to sing together. Okay, and that's the real essence of the neshama. Let's go to Esed Al page Kulam and Zayin. V'yishakash is a muvud by my v'yishakash of the Tav Meisol Kulach Hashem Zayis Gamer. This is connected with what the previous have explained about the meaning of the Jewish people bringing Moshe Rabbeinu olive oil. After Moshe Rabbeinu connects the Jewish people with Hashem, then this causes him to have additional light. Then bringing Moshe olive oil means that Moshe Rabbeinu receives more light from Hashem as a result of him binding the Jewish people with Hashem.
Sorry, what page are we on?
Page Kuf Lamed Zayin, the fourth line. In the Yisrael. What this means for us is as follows. What does it mean that Moshe Rabbeinu connects the Jewish people with Hashem? What does that mean? How does he connect us with Hashem? What that means is Moshe Rabbeinu's role is to ensure that our faith in Hashem is not something that is just a result of part of a neshama seeing Hashem Gan Eden. Rather, our emunah should be because the essence of the neshama is one with the essence of Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu gives us a different kind of emunah experience. That emunah is something which is part of who we are, part of our very core. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu's role is, to reveal the essence of the neshama. This also answers something else. If the word tetzaveh means to connect, so the pasuk doesn't really end. The sentence doesn't ever finish. And you should connect the Jewish people with who? It doesn't say with who. It sounds like you should connect the Jewish people with each other. So, indeed, the pasuk is alluding to that as well. Because Moshe Rabbeinu reveals the essence of the neshama, and from the perspective of the essence of the neshama, we're all the same. We all have the same essence. Therefore, all Jewish people are able to unite with each other. They're able to unite with each other because looking at who they really are, their very core, they're all the same. So that's why the pasuk is not only saying that Moshe connects the Jewish people with Hashem, you should connect the Jewish people with Hashem. The pasuk is also saying you should connect the Jewish people with each other, because by causing the Jewish people, causing the Jew to experience his emunah from his essence, that his emunah should be something that is a result of the essence of his neshama being one with Hashem, that it's part of, he knows Hashem because he is Hashem, because he is one with Hashem. When Moshe Rabbeinu reveals that in a Jew, that causes unity among all the Jewish people, because with that experience, there's no difference to one Jew and another. So that's what Moshe does. What do we do? And by Moshe Rabbeinu giving us this connection to our essence, we are then able to then connect that essence of the neshama with our persona, with our character, with our ideology, with our behavior, so that our ideology and behavior and character should be in sync to the essence of the neshama. So by doing this, we are 2.0ing what Moshe Rabbeinu was giving us. Moshe Rabbeinu has only given us the essence of the neshama, the essence, what we call essence, vis-a-vis the more external parts of the neshama. But by you bringing that essence and making that part of who you are, making that part of what you think and feel, you have now connected to the real, deepest essence of the neshama. The part of the neshama which doesn't see a distinction between the various soul powers and the core of who you are. Instead, you're adding to what Moshe Rabbeinu was given. Moshe Rabbeinu only connects you to part of the essence, or a lower, more external part of the essence of the neshama. It's called essence only vis-a-vis the soul powers, not the real essence of the neshama. But by you working to make your persona to think and feel and to do the way the essence of Neshama wants to, so what you're doing by that exercise is revealing a deeper part of the Neshama. You're actually giving something to Moshe that he didn't give you in the first place. He only gave you the essence of Neshama, essence vis-a-vis higher than the soul powers. But by you bringing into your persona, you are getting in touch with the deepest part of the neshama, not just the essence of the soul powers, but the essence of the neshama mamash. Anyone follow that or no?
The essence of the soul powers, you make a distinction between the essence of the neshama.
So how do you get in touch with the essence of neshama mamash? By you bringing it lower. By making Moshe Rabbeinu gives you the essence of the neshama, as your emunah should be that way. Your emunah should be so strong that you feel Hashem's presence in a real way. But when that becomes part of the way you think and feel as a person, it looks like you're doing something lower. It looks like you're limiting it, and you're putting it into whatever. So it's just I'll help you remember it, but it's not really going to help you understand it. And well, a few nights after my son was born, my mother-in-law was Levi. My mother-in-law was playing with Levi on the couch in the back in 672 Empire Boulevard in Crown Heights, and she was doing all these. And I thought my son Levi was a genius. He looks so so calm and whatever. And so she's doing patty cakes and whatever his game she's playing with him, and all of a sudden he says "buh." To respond to her "buh," he goes "buh," and she's like, "Wow, he's a genius." So her version of he's a genius was he says "buh," and I was like, "1 second, that's like dumbing it down." He's already studying Greek philosophy. He knows what he's doing. He's thinking, but the MS is that the opposite. That was really. That was really his mind developing, to be able to respond to that. That was development for me. She knew much more than me about whatever. Anyways, the point is that when you take the essence of neshama and you do something very small with it, that's actually you're going deeper. When you make the essence of neshama become part of a small decision that you're doing, the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, in chapter 41, the Alter Rebbe says that whenever you daven, whenever you learn Torah, that's really Mesiras Nefesh. Why is it Mesiras Nefesh? Because just when a soul passes away in Gan Eden, all you think about, all you do is daven. All you think about is God's words. All you do is God's words. You're just totally immersed in God's words, nothing about any bodily things. That's what happens after you pass away. So in a similar way, the Alter Rebbe says, whenever you daven and learn, you're doing the same thing. You're giving your soul to Hashem, and you're like dying in a way. You're giving your soul to Hashem. You're not thinking about the physical things of your life. You're now immersing yourself in Gan Eden. You're giving your soul to Hashem. That's why then the davening after Shemona Esrei we say to Hashem, Eilecha avai nafshi esat. To you, Hashem, I lift my soul. What do you mean you lift your soul? You just finished davening. You just were face to face with Hashem. You promise Hashem the rest of the day. I also am going to connect with you when I'm going to learn Torah and do kindness. I lift my soul to you the rest of the day. That's also why in the beginning of davening we say. The Alter mentions this also in chapter 41. He says we start off davening saying, the soul that you gave me is pure. You're going to take it away. You're going to give it back. And then we say, I acknowledge you. What's the connection? You say you're going to take it away from me. You're going to give it back to me when Mashiach comes. And then we say, as long as it's inside of me, I acknowledge you. So the Alter says, because you're going to take it away from me, because you gave it to me, and you can take it away from me, I'm not waiting for you to take it away and give it back. I'm giving it back to you right now. When I say the brachas hashachar, I turn to Hashem, say baruch atah Hashem, I am now giving my soul to Hashem. That's Mesiras Nefesh. That's also a expression of the essence of the Hashem. So although it looks like something very little compared to when we talk about Mesiras Nefesh or whatever, but on the contrary, in that little feeling that you had, you said a bracha, you know, connect to Hashem, the Alter says that's Mesiras Nefesh. In every tnu of a Yid, the Rebbe said, in every movement of a Jew, there could be the Inyan, there has to be the Inyan of Mesiras Nefesh. Mesiras Nefesh means you're giving yourself to Hashem. That's so when you do that, when the essence of Hashem is powering your day-to-day, your brachas hashachar, that there's some more simcha, there's more joy in brachas hashachar, you're actually not just experiencing something that Moshe Rabbeinu was giving you, you're actually adding to what Moshe Rabbeinu was giving you. You're going deeper in the essence of the neshama. Therefore, it's coming part of who you are. Therefore, it's expressing itself in the things that you're doing. Yeah, makes sense. Doesn't make sense. This also adds to the unity. When you bring the essence of your neshama into your persona, into who you are, you actually are able to achieve a greater unity between other people. Why? It's a terrible thing, but someone there was speaking once about Ahavas Yisrael, and I remember the Sunday afterwards, one of the boys in yeshiva was a little wild, and he goes, "What does Ahavas Yisrael mean? It doesn't mean to you and to you. I like you guys anyways." Yankel. won't say, Yankel, this is what it means. I have to love you too. You know that. So if it's a horrible thing, embarrassed in public, chas v'shalom. Anyways, don't try this at home. But the point is that we had a point. The point is that Avos Yisrael doesn't mean to love someone because they like their persona. Avos Yisrael means love them because they're Jewish, right? That's when you really have Avos Yisrael. But on the other hand, if you're only loving them because they're neshama, so then you're not really loving them as people. You're just loving their neshama. It's sort of like loving something external to them. If you love them because they're neshama, even though they're neshama, like one lady was in Yichis by the Rebbe, and she told the Rebbe that Rebbe asked her about a shalom bayis, and she told the Rebbe something to the effect of, he's Jewish. I love him because he's Jewish. And the Rebbe said to her husband, that has to be more than just you love him because he's Jewish. So
It was last week's story, right?
what was the last week's story? I thought you had never heard it before.
Only that part of it.
So, yeah. It was last week's story. Mrs. Fishman. Yeah.
She's looking for a husband.
Oh, right.
She likes him.
Right. Before she didn't get married yet. Yeah. Very good. You're right. Very good. Thank you. So in order for the Avos Yisrael to really be part of who we are, and not just that you love someone because they have a neshama. In other words, I'm saying three things. First, I'm saying is that Avos Yisrael, because like their persona, isn't the highest level of Avos Yisrael. It is part of the mitzvah of Yisrael. The mitzvah of Yisrael is to think about another person's virtues, think about how great they are. That's mitzvah of Yisrael. To think about the virtues of another person. And just a mitzvah to think about the greatest of Hashem. The mitzvah is to think about the virtues of another Jew. That's an absolute mitzvah. But besides that, there's a deeper, higher experience of Avos Yisrael beyond their virtues. They're your brother because they come from the same father. That's a deeper level of Avos Yisrael. The Rebbe says now over here, the highest level of Avos Yisrael is when your persona is one with your neshama. So then, in that, think about a world where everyone's neshama is one with their persona. The unity that everyone has is not just in their deepest self. The unity they have is in everything. They're united completely, totally, because they're everything that's going on in their life is all one with who they really are in their essence. So by bringing the essence of your neshama into your persona, you are connecting not only with Hashem at a deeper level, not only with your neshama at a deeper level, but you're also connecting with other Jew on a deeper level because at the perspective of the essence of the neshama, you and other Jew are united not just because of your souls, but also because of your bodies, because of everything. Okay, Maamar, like they, she is so says in the Maamar, by the Jewish people, added to Moshe Rabbeinu, by doing this, there will be a constant flame. That's neshama in shayach shinin. It seems that it's possible only to have your neshama shining all the time when you bring the oil to Moshe. The pasuk says you'll bring the oil to Moshe, and then there'll be a constant flame. It sounds like without bringing the oil to Moshe, there won't be a constant flame. Only by bringing the oil to Moshe can there be a constant flame. The essence of neshama is unchangeable. The essence doesn't change. The essence is always the same. So what do we mean when we say that there could only be a constant connection, a constant flame when you bring the oil to Moshe? The essence doesn't change. The essence is always the same. How come only when you bring the oil to Moshe, we'll see that means in a second, only when you do that can there be a constant flame? The answer is, that's neshama. Next page. If you are in touch with your soul only because of Moshe's generation is revealing it, so then when does he reveal it more? When do you feel it more? When there's a concealment of godliness, when there's an obstacle, then you're forced to come in touch with the essence of your neshama. When there's a nighttime, when there's darkness, then you feel this kind of connection, like the pasuk says, when I feel your kindness by daytime, and my faith in you I feel at night. When do you feel the essence in neshama? You only feel it when there's nighttime. if Moshe Rabbeinu is the one who's causing you to experience your essence in Hashem, if you're relying on him, you're only going to feel when it's nighttime. By those Jews who have Mesiras Nefesh in Russia, when there were decrees against Judaism, it's amazing. But afterwards, they came to America and they lost that experience. Didn't have that Mesiras Nefesh anymore. So they didn't have a constant flame. It was only because of the decrees that they were able to get there. The true constant flame is by bringing oil to Moshe, which means to connect the essence of neshama to your persona, to who you are, and then there can be a constant flame. Then the fire will never go out because it's part of who you are. And now we can explain. Now we can explain the order of the pasuk. The pasuk says you should bring the oil to Moshe, and the oil should be crushed to be a source of light. When it says crushed to be a source of light, it's not only referring to the decrees against the Jewish people, it's also referring to us being crushed by the fact that the Mashiach hasn't come. How can you have that experience? By making an effort so that your persona should feel and think in sync with the essence of Hashem. And you are able to connect to the deepest part of Neshama only by that effort of trying to make your persona one with your with your deepest self, with the essence of Hashem. Okay, so just in short, let me read the last two parts. Let's read inside. The simple meaning of the pasuk is that Moshe Rabbeinu commands Jewish people to bring the oil to him. If the simple meaning is Moshe is commanding Jewish people to do this, so this is also connected to the deeper meaning. The Moshe Rabbeinu connects the Jewish people in a way that he empowers them to do the next step. They're meant to bring the oil to Moshe. But just like Moshe commands them to bring the oil, Moshe also empowers them to use the essence of the neshama and make the essence of the neshama part of their persona. And so too is this true regarding the Moshe of our generation. The Friedrich Rebbe, the leader of our generation, that his effort to reveal and to arouse the faith of every Jew so that it should be connected to the essence of the neshama, his effort is not just, I'm going to do my job and let you do it by yourself afterwards. Rather, his effort is also to continue to be there while after he's given you that connection to your essence, and to help you bring that into yourself as well, so that you should have a constant flame. There should be no change. Not that the essence Shema should not lose its expression. Not only does he put you in touch with the essence of your neshama, he also empowers you to make that part of who you are. And through this, we will marry Bakar of Mamish to the true Ula, and the Mashiach will come. There'll be revelation of godliness, not just revelation, because there'll be something otherworldly that will go and will experience something Hashem is giving to us from on high, like it was when Hashem gave us the Torah. Rather, it'll also be because of the world as a vessel for it. And we'll be able to bring the oil and light the menorah. Physically, too, in the third Beis Hamikdash, and true Plika Ula, the Mashiach Tzedekei, the Bakar of Mamish. Chaim l'chaim v'racha. Shkeach.
Sorry, as a simple cliff note level, on this one point, the three intellectual powers are speaking, doing, and
No, there are three garments of the soul:
right.
thought, speech, and action.
Thought, speech, and
The three intellectual powers are the power to create an idea, the power to understand it, and the power to connect it.
That's the
The way to remember is it's all C: conception, comprehension, and connection.